Join us for the following previews. feature presentation.
Hello, my internet fans. Welcome to the latest edition of Stat Boy Sports Bar featuring Dori Lou. I, of course, am the Stat Boy, and next to me, of course, is featuring Dori Lou. She's right next to me. Above us, we have our three panel members. We have Steel City G because he's rocking his Pittsburgh gear. We got DJ Bayside High, aka Zach. And of course, we have the Cleveland combatant, good old Josh. Good old Jam is in the control room. Welcome, everybody. Glad you could all be here. I'm looking very forward to all the events coming up on the Casa D18 Studios, especially all those great Halloween movies. Dori, I know you're really excited about Hocus Pocus 2 coming up soon.
I'm excited about Halloween, but yes, a little more over Hocus Pocus 2. Hey, I'm frequently called a witch, so it works.
I wonder why. Mr. Yuck, thank you for popping up into the chat room, and he wants to see Casa D18's top 10 horribly worst Halloween movies. Flicks like The Gate or Nightbreed or TerrorVision. And yes, I do remember USA's Up All Night with Rhonda Shear. Oh my God, does that age me? Wow! Don't be surprised there, Mr. Yuck. It could happen. You never know what fiendishly crazy movies Renegade has in his assortment of horror flicks. In fact, there was one where we actually did watch. It was a bunch of reality stars killing each other in one night. It was one of the worst Halloween movies ever. I can't remember the name of it, but it was so bad. Yes.
How bad was it?
It was so bad that I think we wanted to turn it off halfway through the movie. Renegade knows about the one I'm talking about. All right. So, friends, we've got plenty of news to talk about, plenty of sports to talk about. We briefly opened the show in memoriam to former Braves, Red Sox, and Pop is already getting in there. Thanks, Pop. We'll talk about that later.
We're not there yet, Pop. Patience.
I love you, Pop, but wait. We begin our show in memoriam to former Braves, Red Sox, and Mariner Anthony Vivaro, who tragically lost his life just this past week. He was heading to work to the 9/11 Memorial in New York City. He played 6 seasons before in 2016 to become a police officer, and 5 years later, in 2021, he transferred to the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. In 2005, he was drafted by the Seattle Mariners in the 12th round. He then played for the Braves for 4 years before being traded to the Red Sox. He almost got picked up by the Cubs, but unfortunately, he had a pre-existing elbow injury, so the Cubs sent him back. And then finally, in June of 2016, he decided to retire and fulfill a bit of a dream. And he worked for the good old NYPD and then went to the Port Authority. In his pitching career, he had a record of 9 wins and 7 losses. He recorded 150 strikeouts and a nice low ERA of 3.23. Mr. Vivaro, thank you for your service in the NYPD. You will be missed greatly. It was a very sad story that, he was headed to the 9/11 Memorial, and sadly, an auto accident took his life. But hey, that's a good feel-good story anyway. A baseball player turned police officer. That's something that kind of hits home. That's like he played for us, and then he decided to protect the people of New York. So Well done to you, sir. May you rest eternally in peace, and thank you for everything. Moving on, story that almost got cut from the script because of conflicting rumors. Again, this is all rumored. I actually thought this was a legitimate announcement, but in further homework, the NBA is potentially bringing 2 teams into the NBA, into the roster of cities where they could bring a team back to Seattle, and they could also bring a team to Las Vegas. Now, if you remember, Seattle had the Supersonics before they became the Oklahoma City Thunder. Las Vegas, does Las Vegas really need a basketball team? Let's open this up to debate. Guys, what do we think? Does Las Vegas really need another sports venue in the desert?
Well, if I may real quick.
Yes, you may.
Everybody had this debate about them getting a pro football team to begin with. I mean, it's Sin City. Do you really need to put pro sports in the middle of all that gambling? Okay, go ahead.
I would answer yes to that because sports gambling is huge. Guys, what do you say? Come on.
I mean, I'm not a big basketball fan, but
well,
I mean,
it's not. Well, no, the question, it's not really about basketball. It's just, I think it's shifted a little bit to getting more sports in Las Vegas.
Right. I mean, they might as well. I mean, like you said, it's a in Vegas. That's where people gamble the most, and that's where everybody puts their bets in for sports. So might as well, you know. I mean, they have a hockey team there already. They have a football team down there. Might as well add a basketball team. So, and Seattle, you know, if they're getting a basketball team, again, that'd be pretty cool too for the town of Seattle.
Well, like I said, they had the Supersonics before the Supersonics moved to Oklahoma City. So bringing the team back should, you know, make the people of Seattle happy.
Right.
You have to remember. What do I have to remember? Let's see here. That city has gone without any professional leagues until 2018. I think it's wonderful that every major sport is headed up to. Okay, that's a good reason too. Josh, what do you say, if anything?
I'm not a basketball guy either. I mean, if they do, who knows? Maybe they can lure LeBron away from the Lakers.
Good luck with that. Come on. He's got to fulfill his 2-year contract first. And if that happens, then he's going to be more of a show when you go see a basketball game in Las Vegas anyway. He's not going to play for the love of the game. He's going to play to show off and give the people the entertainment value that Las Vegas gives.
Exactly my point.
On behalf of all, take LeBron. Wow. Good old James.
And he was ours first. He was ours first, Jeff.
Okay, you take him back then. Send him back to Cleveland.
We're good.
You can have him there, I guess. That's
we're good.
Of course.
Thank you for what he did, but we're good.
Of course, watching a sport event usually takes place with a certain alcoholic beverage in your hand. And of course, here on the sports bar, we got to have drinks all around. But have you noticed how much beer prices are? It can be quite pricey. Here's a list of every how much a beer, and we don't know the sizes, so this is it. The most expensive beer, of course, is in Washington at $14 a glass, a cup, however they serve it. And the least inexpensive and the least expensive beer is in Detroit, Atlanta, and New York at $5 a glass. Now, SoFi, that has the Rams and the Chargers, that's $11. The San Francisco 49ers, the Buccaneers, the Saints, and the Jaguars, they're at $11.50. The majority of the teams are at $11. The Vikings are a nice big $10 bill. Dallas and Green Bay at $9.50, and there's the rest.
Why is Pittsburgh $9.29? That's like the most.
I'm kind of curious. I mean, maybe they add sales tax. I don't know.
I think so. Yeah, that's like the most bizarre.
Question.
And the Bengals are $5.27.
Yeah, who in their pocket right now has change? Okay, who in their pocket has cash? You're gonna slide your cards 5 times out of any.
Right.
But are you really going to pay that much money to have a beer?
Depends what it is. I will
I
say
usually
that
do.
much.
When
If
I
it's
go to
like a continue, Big G.
when I go to like wrestling events or stuff like that, I'll usually pay like the $10 for a beer, but then I'll just have one beer. So
How big is it?
They usually I don't remember. I don't know off the top of my head.
Can you compare
It's
it
usually
to a
like
soda?
it's
Can you
usually like a
compare it
can. They usually have them in cans.
to- Good choice of beer, by the way.
Cheap plug.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess for me, it would depend. Like if it's like a Busch or a Bud Light or that sort of crap, no, I'm not going to buy that. If it's like a White Claw or a hard cider or a Mike's Hard or something, yeah, I'd pay for that.
Dory Lou?
By the way, Mike, I carry cash on occasion. I paid cash for lunch today, remember?
Okay, yes, you do, but the good majority of people don't carry cash anymore. They have
Okay.
debit cards and credit cards.
So I'm going to say right now, correct me if I'm wrong, the 4 out of 5 people that are currently on featured right here carry card and only use card.
I very rarely have cash anymore. I hardly, yeah. Yes, I have a $5 bill in my wallet, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go and spend it right now. And I'm certainly not going to. I don't even know what kind. Like Josh said, I don't even know what kind of beer buying.
I think Jeff froze, or not Jeff, Stat Boy.
Oh boy, are we doing this again with Stat Boy?
We got dead air.
We need our producer.
Yeah, there's Jeff. Jeff's like, Frank. He's like, Jeff.
What happened?
I can't do nothing. Okay.
Did I anger the beer gods? What happened here?
Someone.
There it is.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
The internet is drunk. The internet is spending way too much money on beer. So there you go. Well,
There we go. All right. So, any other thoughts or comments on that? Yeah, I saw that, Josh.
what is that? What is that, Josh?
Cider Boys Banana Bliss.
Interesting.
Ooh, sounds interesting.
Another cheap one.
It's apple, strawberry, and banana hard cider.
Ah.
Ooh,
How much
that
is it?
Price wise or alcohol percentage?
Price.
I don't remember. My sister bought it.
Another thing is, remember, most arenas are cashless in this COVID era. Well, yeah, not too many people want to touch cash. So anyway, that was just a little a stat that I brought up because nobody, especially at a baseball game, when I did go to baseball games and a few hockey games, I hardly bought anything. I just wanted to go to the game, sit down, watch the action, and be done, and not really spend all this insane money. I remember spending at least more than what I would spend at a McDonald's at the now Crypto.com arena than what it would be at going to a regular McDonald's. So you're gonna spend money.
Yeah.
And hey, we're actually, and baseball. And there is a song that a good old country group did I can't remember what year without looking it up, but they say in it, and it's very true, when it comes to baseball, we like our beer flat as can be, and we like our dogs with mustard and relish. That's all you need to have a good day.
Sounds tasty.
All right.
Let's get into our week 1 review. This is the meat and potatoes of Stat Boy Sports Bar. What we do, we're switching from what we did last week. We're giving you the results. We're telling you what happened. We're bringing up the numbers. We're bringing up the trivia bits. And our first matchup was on Thursday night, the season opener. The Bills beat the Rams 31-10. Josh Allen went 26 of 31 for 297 yards and 3 touchdowns. He got picked off twice, but that's okay. Matt Stafford went 29 of 41, 240 yards. He only scored 1 touchdown, but he was picked off 3 times. In the matchup, The Rams keep the Rams one up there. The Rams lost by 21 points. That was the second largest deficit by the defending Super Bowl team. The record to that belongs to the Ravens after they lost to the Broncos on opening night in 2013. Matt Stafford was sacked 7 times. That's a new team record with Sean McVay in charge. And the Rams have fallen below 500 for the first time in 6 seasons. So I know it's only the first game, but the Rams need to pick things up and get back on their winning ways.
Hey, Mike, you forgot something.
And in the pick'em contest on that,
I wasn't even going there. There was something else. Remember, I found something that I was supposed to do before you started all this wonderful football information.
What did I forget?
Because Dori does her research too. Yes, I'm talking to myself and about myself in the third person right now. That interesting article I came across. There's a beautiful quote I wanted to start off with. Remember?
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally forgot about that. Go right ahead.
Make sure I get all information before I go on the air. Okay, Bo.
Yep, that sounds about right. And I think he was working on the script when I told him this. So,
my bad.
I get all kinds of social media news. There's a couple of different places I get my news from, including Newsbreak. And this gentleman, Adam Sheen, Schein, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. I like his articles. I don't listen to his podcast, but I like his articles. And he said, it's not a bad start at all for the 2022 season. And he's looking at specifically 7 games, but I'm not going to go over his information. He just has this quote that I really enjoyed about basically kind of sums up week 1. The Browns spoiled Baker Mayfield's revenge attempt with a rookie kicker blasting a 58-yard game winner at Carolina. A.J. Brown instantly made his presence felt in the Eagles' offense during Philadelphia's going past Detroit with 10 catches for 155 yards. The Ravens and the Jets are who we thought they were with Lamar Jackson and company, cruising to a road victory over an inefficient Joe Flacco-led operation. The Colts and the Texans immediately and fittingly mucked up the AFC South standings with a tie. Does that about sum it up? I think so.
In the broad spectrum, in the broad thing of things, yes, absolutely.
And
it's really Miss Von Miller.
Adam, I'm not going to try and say your last name again because I don't want to mispronounce it. He is a contributing columnist for NFL.com. And again, I enjoy reading what he has going on with the NFL and such. So, all right, with that. Both in the one-on-one contest, both Dori and Zach did pick Buffalo. They both got that match right. Now we'll reveal the score of their one-on-one match at the end. So there's no really need to keep count just yet. All right, Dori, go ahead and do the next matchup. I would love to. However, your tablet has signed out on me.
It has? All right, I'll come right over to get it.
So, did everybody enjoy football this weekend? Who got to watch it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe towards the end of last season, if anybody recalls or was here, I said something about Josh Allen being a upcoming quarterback to really be watching. And I think as long as he's got Diggs, Singletary, and Davis there, we're going to have a very good, a lot of nice teamwork there. We're going to see a lot of good things from the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think it also helped in that Rams Bills game that the Bills had Von Miller telling them all the Rams plays, pretty much, and knowing exactly what Sean McVay was going to do. So I think the Rams were definitely missing Von Miller, and the Bills are very much taking advantage of having Von Miller and his Rams knowledge.
Yeah. We will see, though, as we go through the games, that not all revenge games worked out the way they wanted them to.
Nope.
So let's see.
Someday.
Our second matchup, our first game for Sunday, was New Orleans Saints at the Atlanta Falcons. Let's see. We have a match breakdown of 7-4 in favor of New Orleans. The point spread was minus 5.5. Zach and I both picked New Orleans. And they didn't cover the point spread, so I won that game. Sorry, Zach. The Saints won 27-26. You had Jameis Winston go 23 out of 34. 269 yards, 2 touchdowns with no interceptions, versus Marcus Mariota, 20 out of 33 for 215 yards, no touchdowns, and no interceptions. In the past, and I think we've all seen this, once the team is down so far, it's kind of improbable for them to come back over a large deficit. And in this case, it was the Saints defeating the Falcons after they started with a 16-point deficit in the final quarter. The winning field goal in the last 19 seconds was scored by Will Lutz. And, hey, we'll see what happens. Jameis Winston was sacked 4 times. And the thing with that is they had the lowest amount of sacks. Sacked 4 times by a team that had the lowest amount of sacks last season and only passed for 24 yards in the first half of the game. So Atlanta, get your butts in gear.
Zach, you're in New Orleans, boy. What'd you think of the game?
Very, very, very stressful.
You talking about stressful?
We're not there yet.
We'll get there. Both of our games.
Listen, it started on Saturday when Notre Dame lost to Marshall.
Yeah.
That was already bad enough.
What the heck?
And then it went into Sunday, and then the Saints just, I don't know what you call that. I mean,
Well, they weren't
It
going
looked like-
marching in, that's for sure.
we looked like a high school offense. Till the fourth quarter, then
Well, Zach, in all fairness, losing after mostly having a, run away with the game deficit winning percentage and then losing is the Falcons' calling card. It's what they do.
I know.
So you shouldn't have been worried.
Should not have been, but hey, life is life, right?
Indeed. Our next matchup. The Browns beat the Panthers 26-4 in the Pick'em contest. The match breakdown was 6-5 in favor of Carolina. The point spread was 2.5 points for Cleveland. Zach picked Carolina. Dori picked Cleveland. Both of them were right. The point spread was covered, and Dori got that correctly, picked the Browns. Baker Mayfield went 16 of 27 for 235 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. And Jacoby Brissett went 18 of 34 for 147 yards and 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Baker Mayfield walked into Cleveland and lost to his former team thanks to a 58-yard field goal by Cade York. The last time the Browns opened the season with a win was all the way back in 2004. And not only was he sacked 4 times, he had 5 passes tipped and almost nearly intercepted. One of them did, but the other 4 were tipped pretty good. So, Josh?
That was a revenge game that did not happen the way they wanted it to. But
Josh,
Baker
there's yours on this one.
Oh, I was very happy with this one. We walked into Carolina. The game was in Carolina, not here in Cleveland. But that was fun. I mean, the defense had a couple mishaps, and that's how they were actually able to come up and actually even it up. But Cade York, this is exactly why we drafted him in the 4th round. because he's got that leg for days. And mark my words, 9 months from now, there will be many boys being born named Cade in Cleveland and across Ohio after that. Thank you, Cade York, you absolute legend. And got on with me today, old Browns wide receiver Greg Pruitt, signed hat that my friends got for me at training camp when I was unable to go. 5-time Pro Bowl champion, played with the Browns from 73 to 81, and won Super Bowl 18 with the Raiders. So, little
Good
Browns.
stat work.
Go
Little
Browns.
Browns trivia for you there. So, thank you, Cade York, and thank you, Stefanski, for finally putting Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb on the field together at the same time, because, boy, was that beautiful.
Josh, you have to become an LSU fan for the rest of your life now.
Yeah.
I'm Ohio State and Notre Dame.
No. You have Cade York, so now you have to be an LSU fan for the rest of your life.
There you
Period.
go. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I like that. Nope.
Let's have Cade get the Browns to the promised land before we start having Josh convert his fandom, shall we?
This works
That was
great for
the
Jeff. I
longest
love the way he
field
pops in
goal
like that.
since 84 for the Browns. Since 1984. That was our longest field goal.
Hey, we'll see what
That
happens.
was his first game. His first game.
He made one from 70 in warm-ups.
I'm aware.
Oh, come on. 70? Really?
Yeah.
That seems
He is
impossible.
that good.
Hey, Mike, nothing is impossible. Improbable, maybe, but not impossible.
I should use
And
that.
I'm going to prove that here in one of our matchups coming up here shortly. But first, moving on to the San Francisco 49ers and the Chicago Dem Bears.
Aw.
So the match breakdown was 8-3 in favor of Frisco. The point spread was Frisco -7. Zach's picked Frisco, and I went with Chicago. And I won that one. Sorry, Zach. And they didn't cover the point spread. Since you didn't write it down here, the score was 19-10 Chicago. An unusual penalty was called near the end of the first half when the Bears holder, Trenton Gill, attempted to use a towel to dry an area ahead of a field goal. Prior to the game, rain soaked Soldier Field, which was really cool because I watched somebody basically slip and slide across the field. One of the Bears slip and slide across the field. I loved it. Every time a player stepped on the turf, water would splash. The referee believed and stated that a towel is considered an object, and it would be an unfair advantage to wipe down the area where a ball was going to be placed. Now, I know Mikey did look up that particular penalty, and he can give you more on that.
It's basically self-explanatory. I mean, I think it's a stupid rule because if there's this is almost like, I'm going to compare it to the golf ball has to be played where it lies. I guess you have to deal with the conditions on the field. I didn't get the exact wording of the penalty, but the referee said that in the post interview. He said, "Hey, it's one of those offbeat rules, and as we know in the Casa crew, good old JM makes a very funny sound when things go flying over out a window or whatever. So that sound would have been perfect when one of the Chicago Bears was hydroplaning on the field."
I have no idea what you're talking about, honestly.
That wee sound you make.
Oh.
Woo! That's the one. It's fun to see grown football players having fun like 10-year-olds when Mother Nature decides to dump a rainstorm on a football field. If baseball players can do it with the tarp, then football players can do it on a field. Thank you.
Why does it seem like every time these two teams play, there's some type of weather element going on?
It's Chicago for one. They have some of the worst weather in the United States.
My favorite game Chicago ever had like that was the fog game when they played.
Yes. That was one of the Fog Bowl was one of the creepiest games ever. And I'm surprised the game kept going. I think in that game, the coaches were almost begging and making phone calls. It's like, hey, we can't see where we're going. And I felt really bad for the commentators too. They had no clue what was going on.
Yeah, but I'm so excited that they are not playing in, covered. They don't have the covered domes, or they have the retractable roofs, or whatever it may be, so that the players are actually back playing in the elements. I remember as a kid watching the players, especially up north, Ohio, Minnesota, New York, and them, the guys slipping and sliding through the snow on the field.
Well, that's even more fun.
And I miss that, and I love seeing it's back and them playing in the rain like that. That's a very nice childhood memory for me. Thank you, guys.
Next matchup.
That means I got to put my eyes back on. Ooh. So yeah, next matchup was. Are you laughing at me, Josh?
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at this entire matchup. I'm
Okay.
excited to hear what Big G's going to say.
Hush, child.
Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. The match breakdown was 7-4 in favor of Cincy. The point spread was for Pittsburgh 6.5. Zach and I both picked Cincinnati, and we were both wrong. Pittsburgh won 23-20 in overtime. Let's see. Trubisky was 21 out of 438 for 194 yards with 1 touchdown and no interceptions. Joe Burrow, go back to school. 33 out of 53 for 338 yards. So they got some nice progress there. 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. All right. We talked about this briefly before we came on air, but TJ Watt left the game late in the fourth quarter with an injury to a pectoral muscle, and Boswell kicked a 53-yard field goal as the time expired in overtime. Fitzpatrick blocked a point after attempt, which sent the game into a. Okay, I got it. Sometimes I got to figure out Mike's sentences here.
My grammar is messed up.
Minkah Fitzpatrick blocked the field goal to tie the game or to win the game-winning goal for the Bengals to win, and he blocked it.
Got it. And then Joe Burrow was picked off 4 times, which is the most times he has been intercepted in his career. And he got sacked 7 times. Again, Joe Burrow, go back to school. You may begin.
G, this is your matchup. Go for it.
Well, like any other Steelers games, Greg, Sean, Rassap, whoever is a Steelers fan, and this time we always get heart attacks. As soon as the first quarter starts, we're just like sitting at the edge of our seats to see how everything goes. And of course, it went exactly like how I thought it would be. When the AFC North teams play, Josh can account to this. It's always a tough game. It's always a close game. Always a close game, except for the time that you guys beat us in the playoffs. But anyways, yeah, wild game towards the end. It was, I believe, 20-16 or 20-13. Cincinnati came back with the touchdown by Jamar Chase. Minkah Fitzpatrick blocked the field goal, which was awesome. Went into overtime. Their kicker missed again, and this time it was wide left. And that's not due to the kicker. That's due to the long snapper because it wasn't their original long snapper. I believe their wide receiver was long snapper at the time. And then we missed the field goal, and that sound haunted me for I thought after that we were gonna lose. All I heard was dunk,
Oh, that's such a heartbreaking sound.
Wasn't there? I can't remember what team a couple of seasons ago where it was kind of similar with that, where it like bounced back and forth. I can't remember what game it was. And then Boswell kicked that 53-yard field goal, and we won the game. Yes, T.J. Watt and Najee Harris both exited the games. Najee Harris is cleared to play against the New England Patriots in week 2, and T.J. Watt, I believe, will be out for 6 weeks, which puts us week 7. I believe. So good for T.J. Watt. I mean, like I said before that we started the stream, T.J. Watt is is the best defensive player in the NFL right now. And him winning last year's award set proves it. But he doesn't make the whole defensive team. You got Cameron Hayward, you got Minkah Fitzpatrick, you got so many players out there that make up the defensive side of the Steelers. And we are called Blitzburg for a reason.
Exactly.
If you have never seen, our offense right now is struggling. We're a fresh young team. We got a new quarterback, so things got to play out. Do the Steelers have the greatest highlight reel offensively? No, but defensively, yes. So that is my take on that. Thank you very much.
That's my opinion, and it should be yours.
There it is. Next matchup.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. I'm actually working. I forgot. Okay.
The Eagles beat the Lions 38-35. Jalen Hurts went 18 of 32 for 243 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Jared Goff went 21 of 37 for 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. The match breakdown for this was 9-2 in favor of Philadelphia. The point spread was -4. Both Dori and Zach did pick Philadelphia. Dori got it right. The point spread was not covered. Lions defensive back Tracy Walker was ejected from the game after hitting Jalen Hurts near his head as he fell to the turf late in the third quarter. It's one of those, horrible plays where, you try not to be intentional, but it happened. Helmet to helmet, perhaps. Didn't actually see the clip, but he got the boot for it. As far as we know, Jalen's okay. He'll be back next week. It's Philadelphia, Detroit. That's a pretty good matchup too. It was a high scoring game, back and forth too. 38-35 is a pretty good sports game there. All right, next matchup.
So the next matchup we have was the Colts versus the Texans. And match breakdown was 6-5 in favor of Houston. The point spread was Indianapolis -7.5. I picked Indy. Zach picked Houston. And damn it, they resulted in a tie. And I think they need to get rid of this tie thing. They need to play until somebody wins.
Well said.
Yeah.
That is a good point to bring up right now. You don't play for a tie, especially in the first.
No,
you just don't.
That messes up the standings for everybody.
Yeah, that too. But even messes up the standings. And I'm sorry, can you see the Super Bowl resulting in a tie? Really? They're going to play until somebody wins. They need to do that. Period. There's no such thing as a tie in football.
Dori Lou for NFL commissioner.
Let's not lay that poor freaking unfortunate soul on that job. Are you kidding me? God, that'd be a horrible nightmare for her. Jesus.
But you get it done.
She's too good a person to be in that role. Are you kidding me?
Oh Lord, yeah.
I don't
think I want that job unless I have my hand-picked crew with me.
There you go.
Matt Ryan went 32 for 50 for 352 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And Davis Mills was 23 for 37, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. I don't have any other notes at this point other than play till they win, get rid of the freaking ties. Anybody else?
Yeah, stupid.
Yeah.
I never liked ties in sports. I didn't like it when hockey did all those years, and I'm glad they finally did away with that shit.
Well, if nobody would have won in the Steelers game, it would have been a tie too. We had like 5 seconds left in that game in overtime.
Yeah.
I remember a few years ago, the first game of the season, it was Browns versus Steelers, and we tied.
Yep.
That's dumb. I hate it. It's so stupid.
It's not a winner. You play till you
You
play.
need a winner. Yeah.
I think that was last season, Josh, because we went 9-7-1, and I think you guys were tied too.
It wasn't last season. I think it
No.
was. Yeah,
Oh,
might have been
yeah.
the season. It was either the season before. It was a couple years.
No,
ago.
that friggin' tie you guys had last year was the anomaly that threw everybody off. Gee, that was a complete what the hell.
Oh yeah, that was the Lions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like friggin' Detroit. Like really?
I remember now. Oh my
You
god.
tied the Lions.
There was like one legitimate sports fan I know that was happy with that because they didn't lose. It was like, oh god.
Well, then let me ask this to the crew because you say get rid of the ties, but we know in the championship series they do play until somebody wins with an even playing field. That was the newest rule change made. So is that okay, Dori? I mean, or do you just say, do you want one winner or do you want equal chance and then do a winner?
I don't know what you just said.
Okay, in the play, the way it is now, Dori wants you play till you win.
Right, which is how it should be.
In the playoffs, though, both teams get an equal chance to play, and then they can keep going.
Well, that's what they did the other night with Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. The receiving team got the ball first. They had their chance, and then had they scored, Pittsburgh would have had, or whatever it was, whoever would have scored first, they would have had a chance to respond. Since there wasn't a first score, the next score became the last score. So that's how it should be across the board. It should just keep going until there is that last score, not end this tie bullshit. That's how I feel.
Right, but it's different. It's different because if you score a touchdown, you automatically win. The other team doesn't get a shot at it.
Right.
I think that rule's also bullshit as well.
That's what they changed for the playoffs.
Well, then I think it should be like any other sport. Sudden death. You're in overtime, that's it. The next score is it, that's it.
Yeah. I mean,
You know, and again, you know, football's determined, unfortunately, by the coin toss to start, but, you know, there has to be some other way to do it because these ties, like I say, they screw up the standings for the teams themselves. They screw up fantasy football. They screw up shows like this. They screw up pick'ems and stuff like we do. It's a pain in the ass.
well,
Why not?
even for
Right.
hockey, you know, they have a tie and they go to a shootout.
Right. Yeah. You get a point if you get to overtime, no matter what. It's just a matter of they play till there's a winner. The winning team gets that extra point. That's why there's that fourth column, there's still that third column in hocky. It's no
They should
longer
do that
tie,
with-
it's overtime loss.
Instead of like doing that, they should just like kick field goals.
I like that idea.
Well, yeah, but then you're soccer and you're there for 45 minutes to an hour more.
True.
Well,
Jesus Christ, we got shit to do.
Start at the, I don't know, if the 45-yard line and keep moving back
Well, there you
right
go.
down each
There
time.
you go.
Okay,
All right.
and then the first time somebody misses, it's done.
I can
Dori
answer
for
that.
commissioner. Hashtag it.
Stop. God, don't put her in that horrible position. God, what a
She's
horrible
coming
thing
up
to
with
have.
great ideas. This works.
Yeah, great ideas are fine, but the job is a muckerfuther, man. Don't put that shit on her.
Yeah, you know, I don't do well under extreme stress,
Exactly.
or you should know that by now. All right, moving on.
Where are we at?
Yeah.
Break in here. Where did they go? No, and you
Yeah,
just
we
scroll.
just had Colts and Texans, so whatever's
Oh,
after
okay.
that.
So it
Yeah.
should be the Patriots and the Dolphins.
Next one.
Oh God.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
There you
There
go.
we go.
Sorry, my board got messed up. I didn't know it until just now.
No problem, we got you. Okay, Mike.
So the New England Patriots defeated the Miami Dolphins 20-7.
Other way around.
Other way around.
Other
The
way
breakdown
around.
was 8-3 in favor
Mike.
of the Ravens.
Mike,
Mike.
you said it wrong.
What
You
did
said
I
the
say, Mom?
Patriots won this game. I'm about to come through there and kick your butt.
I'll
Oh.
do it for you in just a minute.
Thank you.
Miami won 20-7.
Yes, Miami won.
Yes.
Woo!
Bravo. The breakdown was 8-3 in favor of New England. The point spread was 3 points for New England. Dory picked New England. Zach picked Miami. Oh, crap. Ow!
Yeah. I am so glad I turned the thing on when I did. That was tremendous.
Oh. Did you get that on camera?
I got that on camera. I did, yes.
You're welcome.
Damn, that had some bass to it, too.
That's
Alfonso
what you
Ribeiro,
did
my
for
chick better be in the mail.
when they did
Anyway,
it.
Whew. And the lights went out all over the world. Mac Jones
Just
went
the night that
21.
the lights went out on Mikey. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Okay.
Mac
So
Jones
We're
went
not innocent,
21.
Manny. Screwed up. Anyway, carry on.
Mac Jones went
Miami
21.
Dolphins won 20-7. Mac
That's
Jones
right.
went 21 for 30 with 213 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And help me out, guys. Tua.
Tua.
Okay, Tua. We'll
Yeah,
go there.
Tua.
23 for 33. 23 for from 23 out of 33, 270 yards, 1 touchdown, interceptions. Go.
There you go.
And you guys are happy enough that the Patriots lost? That's good enough for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get anything on this one.
Did we do Indianapolis and Houston yet?
Yes.
Yes.
So we should be on Ravens Jets, right?
Yes.
Oh,
The
Let's bring that
Radbirds.
one up right now.
So let's see. The Ravens and the Jets. Matchdown breakdown says unanimous pick for Baltimore. The point spread was Buffalo minus. Boy, we got to work on your stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
It was -7.
Yeah, you said Buffalo on the notes.
Buffalo minus 7.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I need to
We're going to start rehearsing these shows from now on, clearly.
I will start proofreading. I'm sorry, I crashed really hard after therapy today.
Oh, you're good, Tori.
So we both went with Baltimore. We both got that one right. Baltimore won 24-9. Lamar Jackson was 17 for 30 with 213 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Mr. Joe Flacco.
Lord.
37 for 59, 307 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Okay.
Yeah, Flacco's career's gone down.
Not enough flack to give Flacco these days, is there?
All right.
Flacco, Flacco.
Prior to the game, ESPN reported that Lamar Jackson turned down a 5-year extension offer worth more than $250 million with a guaranteed $133 million. Baltimore general manager Eric DeCosta said both sides would keep working on an extension after the season ends. And the Jets' woes have started again. They can't seem to win in the month of September. Well, that sounds about right. They've lost their 13th straight game in the month of September, and the last time they won in the month of September was in 2018.
wow.
So what you're saying is wake them up when September ends.
Yeah.
I'm expecting the Jets to show up until October.
There you go. Might get their heads out of their asses by then, but probably not.
Well, you never know. You never know.
Who's the
They might
man?
surprise us one day. I mean, they did
Who's the
surprise us
man?
at the end of last season, so maybe they'll surprise us again.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Hey, the
exactly.
fact that they had a better record than anybody was a surprise, so anything would be an improvement at this point.
Hopefully, Zach Wilson's actually focusing on getting better instead of finding his next mom.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but who throws the ball at that age 60 times?
That's absurd.
Ben did.
Absurd. Yeah. Well, yeah. To be fair, I'm gonna say who does that. Wait till we get to the Cowboys game. I'll tell you who does that shit.
Yeah, and I'll say it again. Who does that? Someone who doesn't have a running team.
That's also true.
Yep.
That's also very true, Dory.
Well
Yeah.
done.
Okay. Yes, Mike. How's your head?
It's still stinging. I go to
Which one of you talking? What happened?
That's what you get for saying the Patriots won when they
We're not in
didn't.
the park anymore. How about that one?
Somebody answer that doorbell for Mikey. It's ringing in his head. He can't hear anything else.
What? What's that? Next game, please. The Jaguars and the
Stupid
new
Jacksonville.
Commandos. 28-22 was the final score. Trevor Lawrence went 24 of 42 for 275 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Carson Wentz, 27 of 41, 313 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The match breakdown was 6-5 in favor of Jacksonville. Both Dori and Zach picked Jacksonville. They were both wrong. The spread was not covered. And that's all I got on that one because I couldn't find anything interesting on that matchup.
As if I wasn't pissed off at the Khan family enough this week. Anyway.
I
was
wonder
about to say,
why.
More L's for the Cons. Good job. Good job, Jeff.
Father and son both shitting in my bed here today. Thanks a lot, kids. Anyway.
Oh. Say, hey, Pops, what happened to Jacksonville? Okay, Kansas City Chiefs at the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, we're on Giant. Well,
No, that's fine. Hey, well, do whatever the hell.
Okay, go ahead.
I have the Giants and Titans the following game.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Chiefs and the Cardinals. The match breakdown: 10-1 in favor of Kansas City. Point spread was -4 for Kansas City. And we both took the Chiefs. We were both right. Kansas City won 44-21.
Yeah, they did.
Patrick Mahomes went 30 for 39, 360 yards, 5 touchdowns with 0 interceptions. Kyler Murray was 22 for 34 with 193 yards, 2 touchdowns, and again, 0 interceptions. This was Mahomes playing against his former coach from Texas Tech, Cliff Kingsbury. So I wonder how much what kind of relationship they had when he was at Texas Tech to make this game happen. And this is he's also perfect in season opening games with now a 5-0 record for week 1. The Cardinals have lost 6 of the last 7 games they played, stretching back to last season. So the Cardinals apparently are on a losing streak, continuing from last season. Let's see if they can turn that around.
All right.
Man.
And
All right.
because of his performance, Patrick Mahomes, of course, did the best. 5 touchdowns. You can't sneeze at that. 360 yards. He's up there. I am working on quarterback rankings. I do not have that information ready, but
Hey, it's only week 1. What do you want?
it's only week 1,
Welcome
exactly.
back, Juju.
It's only week 1.
Juju
All right.
was amazing out there.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did indeed. All right, the Giants beat the Titans 21-20. Daniel Jones went 17 of 21 for 188 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Ryan Tannehill went 20 of 33 for 266 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. The breakdown was 9-2 in favor of Tennessee. The point spread was 5.5 for New York. Dori and Zach both picked Tennessee. They were both wrong. We got this matchup on Fox instead of the Vikings and Green Bay. It looked like Tannehill was going to bring the team the victory. Unfortunately, Randy Bullock missed a 47-yard field goal in the last play of the game, giving New York the win and giving Tennessee their first loss. You know, it's always iffy when you're driving down the field. You've got that momentum, and then you want to kick a field goal, and it was a short kick too. It was almost just past 40 yards. It wasn't
47 yards. How do you miss that?
Cincinnati did.
Yeah, well, there's another game that it was a missed field goal, if I remember right.
Yeah, Texan and Houston, or Texan, Houston, or
Yeah,
Houston and Indy.
Houston and the Colts.
Yeah,
I mean, even commentary on one of the games said, kickers were just, we're just having a rough day. It seemed like for some reason.
Indeed it was.
Unless you're named Cade York.
Yeah, unless you're Cade York. Shush.
What do you do, Basil? You know.
Shush. Okay.
You did not just Chad Gable him.
Yes, I did. But Randy Bullock, I mean, come on, guys. The Titans, I'm actually rooting for you. You're my secondary team. Sorry, Minnesota is going to be my home team always forever. My primary through good times, bad, and everything in between, including all the ugly stuff. So I was taken back to, this is how bad it is that I can't remember the kicker's name. Missing several seasons ago, Vikings missing, I think, going to the playoffs. It could have been because he missed, or we missed winning a really important game because our kicker kicked wide.
I think I remember that.
You remember that? Yeah, it
I
was
don't know who the kicker
heartbreaking.
was, but the game does sound familiar.
I say it was heartbreaking. I mean, if I
Did we
wasn't
lose
with
Mikey, or
other
did Mikey
people,
lose himself here? What happened?
I think Mikey lost.
There was some background noise that I was killing out.
Oh, okay. Well, you can't kill background noise by turning the camera off, but you the microphone off.
Go slap him again.
No.
No, please don't slap him. I need him coherent for the rest of the show. Jesus.
What, you think I can't handle it? No.
I'm not saying you can't handle it. I don't want you to handle it just yet.
Okay.
Emphasis on just yet.
So,
All right. Next game?
All
Or
right.
Yes, next game, please.
Okay. There we go.
The Raiders
This
and the
game
Chargers.
pisses me off because they interrupted the damn the end of the Steelers game.
They cut away?
Yeah, they cut away because we're in the Chargers market.
oh yeah.
That pisses me off. So, like, I can't even. So, you know what? I said I was going to do it on Talk Wrestling, but hell, I'll do it now.
Okay,
Go for
ahead.
CBS and Fox and NBC. Well, NBC only does one game because they got freaking intelligence. And the NFL. Let me be clear on all that too. You know, forcing us to have to buy Sunday ticket, a premium package, whatever you want to call it, because you're going to make us watch a game that we don't give a shit about, even though it's at my hometown stadium. It's like I can't vote for a stadium implosion. I need that stadium up till April 3rd at the very least. So I thought it was really shitty that they cut away from a game that was actually interesting and actually had ramifications, particularly for the Cowboys, because Pittsburgh was playing, and they just decided to just cut away anyway. It's like, that's ridiculous. This game's in overtime. It's clearly going to keep more interest in the start of a Chargers-Raiders game.
Oh yeah.
So, Fox, thanks. Fuck off, but thanks. Okay, carry on.
It
Well
sounds
said.
like it almost sounds like the old Heidi incident back in the
Yeah, exactly.
in the 60s and 70s.
Stupid. Like, I get that there's certain markets for different things, but, you know, I should have that choice whether I want to cut away to, and then I even go on Paramount Plus to try, okay, maybe they're showing it on there. No, because it's wired into my local thing, I have to watch the game it's on. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was opposite of you, Jeff. I was upset that they were still going the Cincinnati Steelers game and not going to the Chargers Raiders game when it already started. I didn't care about Steelers or Cincinnati because they were both just. It was funny, but I wanted to see the Chargers win.
Well, yeah, I mean, for me, you know, at the end of the day, number one, the Steelers are always a thorn on our side. Number two, Cincinnati, you know, that's, you know, roots there in Ohio. So I was just kind of like, I'd like to see how this turns out. And I'm sitting here on this damn thing on camera. There we go. On this damn thing, trying to find a stream or a signal or something. And God, there was so much spam and pop-ups. I almost shut the entire internet down here. So it's like, I shouldn't have to do that to watch a game I want to watch or have to pay an exorbitant fee. Like, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Well,
And I get that, you know, at least Mikey and Dori and I are in the bracket where we didn't get near the sports coverage that the younger folks get now, where, you know, you didn't get a choice. You watched one game, maybe two if you were lucky, no matter what sport it was. Hell, the Kings weren't even on TV regularly until the 80s. So,
that's true. That's true.
anyway.
Think about it though. Remember, I grew up in North Dakota and Minnesota. What did I get to watch?
Well, but at least you enjoyed the teams that were there. You know, if
That's true.
let's say in that era I was on a road trip for whatever reason with my folks and I wanted to watch the Kings game. Oh wait, I can't because I'm in freaking Detroit or some shit. So unless the Kings are playing the Red Wings, I can't watch them on TV. You know, it's that kind of thing that it shouldn't be that way in 2020. It shouldn't have been that way in 1980. It should sure as hell shouldn't be that way in 2022. Anyway,
Well said.
Anyways.
agreed.
So Derek Carr went 22 of 37 for 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Justin Herbert went 26 of 34 for 279 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. The match breakdown was 6-5 in favor of the Chargers. The point spread was Las Vegas 3.5 points. Both players picked, or Dori picked Los Angeles. Zach picked Las Vegas. They both got that right. The point spread was covered. And the Chargers are now their season opening games, improving to 4-0. And in his 9-year career, Derek Carr has been intercepted 3 times in a game for the 3rd time, meaning 3 different games, he's been picked off 3 different times. The last team to do this, the LA Rams. So now he's been picked off by both LA teams.
Should have never left. There you go.
There you go. All right, Dori, this matchup is all yours.
The Minnesota Vikings. Okay, yes, we all know I'm a huge Vikings fan. I deserve it. This is awesome. I was so excited, even though I didn't really get to watch much of the game because I work.
Right.
And I can't listen to the game or anything while I'm at work, but I'm figuring something out to be able to do that in the future. So the match breakdown was 7-4 in favor of Green Bay. Point spread was -2. Point spread was Green Bay -2, and we both took Minnesota. And we both won and got the point spread and all that good stuff. And you, mother, lover, child, Green Bay wins 23-7. I think you need to
did it again.
Slap him.
No. Okay, hey, we will not condone violence on the show.
No, we won't.
We will not have anybody hit anybody on the air.
on the air. So
I took my hat off and everything. I was ready for it.
No,
Viking,
Mikey, don't help yourself.
my beloved purple people eater Vikings skull 23-7 against Green Bay. Kirk Cousins was 23 for 32 for 277 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Aaron Rodgers
Jeez.
needs to retire already. 22 for 195 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Now, I'm sorry, I'm very smiling at this. Justin Jefferson, start there. Justin Jefferson set a new Viking record, 158 receiving yards in a single half. So, yeah, we're still kicking butt with our wide receivers. The Packers, sorry, Mom. Green Bay has now lost 2 straight season opening games. Last year, they lost to the Saints 38-3.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm just, I don't wish ill on anyone. I'd like to see a good game. Aaron Rodgers, I think it's past time for you to retire anyways, but Vikings all the way.
I figured out why I dislike CM Punk so much besides the obvious. He looks like Aaron Rodgers now with the freaking salt and pepper beard.
Doesn't he though?
It just occurred, when I was watching the game, I'm like, no wonder I can't stand Punk now. He looks too much like Rodgers. It all clicked in my brain.
You know what? If you were watching Raw last night, the commercial with State Farm.
That was hysterical.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, man,
I caught part of that.
The irony is not lost on me at all on that.
That was. I wonder if they did that on purpose. Top Dollar on Twitter even said that it got him. It got him.
Wouldn't surprise me if it was done on purpose.
Is it bad that Jordan Love looked better in 2 minutes than Aaron Rodgers?
I was going to say Jordan Love at least threw 50% in that game there.
Yeah, 4 out of 5.
No, I'm sorry, 80%. He did better than I thought he did.
You know what this is called, though? It's not called just Aaron Rodgers should retire. It's called this is what happens when you have to trade your best wide receiver to pay Aaron Rodgers.
Well, but, to be fair, he's old, he's tired, he plays with fucking children. So, he's a little worn out.
So he plays with what he acts like?
That's true, too. But with Devontae Adams not being there, this is going to be a really rough season. He doesn't have his star receiver.
Nope.
So I'm counting that as a major plus for
anyone who faces the Packers this year.
Pretty much anyone who faces the Packers, but especially Minnesota. I'm praying this puts us at the top of our conference. Okay, but he did have a 38-yard touchdown pass. Wait,
Yes.
38 touchdown pass streak against division opponents, broken by Harrison Smith in the second quarter of the game. Oh, and the last time he was picked off was December 29th of 2019 against Detroit.
Yeah, he very rarely throws a interception. It's just, he can't do much of anything else either. There you go.
More Vikings. And, of course, my team behind me. Go Vikings.
Oh, Josh, you picked the Packers, too.
Okay.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Sorry.
And I forgive you. I still love you anyways, Josh, but nah. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, no, go ahead. We're not done with that yet. I'll come back to my comment. Go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, my comment is not until the end.
What?
Hello? Oh. Hello. Okay. Yeah. Time me to step off because we're talking about this next game.
Okay.
Oh boy, this
idea he was gonna do that. It worked so good though.
Oh my God, that was beautiful.
Put Jerry's comment back up.
I know. I'm getting there.
Oh, Lordy.
I hate you so much.
I feel.
All right, so
was
the
being
Cowboys.
nice.
The Cowboys lost to the Buccaneers 19-3. The match breakdown was 10-1 in favor of Tampa Bay, with Dori being the one that picked Dallas. The point spread was Tampa Bay 1.5.
Zach picked Dallas too.
Yes, but he wasn't in the pick'em. He was on the one-on-one, so
okay.
I didn't count him in the pick'em stuff. I'm still crying from that phone call. Damn it. Dak Prescott
safe for you to be on right now.
Dak Prescott went 14 and 19 of 134 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Tom Brady 18 of 27, 212 yards. It took him 3 quarters to throw that touchdown pass because of who knows what was going on with that. But he did get picked off. And, of course, the news has happened late in the fourth quarter. Dak Prescott injured his thumb and required surgery. He had successful surgery yesterday when he made contact with linebacker Shaq Barrett in a plate in his thumb. He is scheduled to be out 6 to 8 weeks. Jerry Jones said at a press conference that he could be back by week 5. And let me call out. This will be a mini rant here. Stephen A. Smith. Yeah, Stephen A. Smith of ESPN. Okay, he is by far the most opinionated journalist that they have on that company, and he has gone on record and said, "Oh my God, the season's over. It's week 1, okay? It is the first game of a brand new season, okay? We may have said this now. We're partial. I did ask that question about Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns. Yes, I asked that question, but we got our answers, okay? I feel injuries happen. That happens, okay? If this was week 10, 11, 12, and you're going into a playoff rush, then you can say their chances are done. In week 1, you're gonna put the nail in the coffin of the Dallas Cowboys? No, you are wrong in that, sir. Thank you. Rant out.
And just one more, another comment on that. We're just looking at Dak Prescott is not the Dallas Cowboys. There's more than one player out on that field for that team.
That's what I said about TJ Watt,
Exactly.
Who knows, and I'm sorry I didn't pay attention. I don't know who the backup is. He could surprise us. Completely surprise us. You never know. So, any other rants? Go right ahead. Jeff, I want to hear from Jeff.
As a Dallas Cowboys fan since they drafted Aikman, and also as a fellow employee of the same company that employs Stephen A. Smith, at least under the umbrella anyway, he's not wrong. we're gonna lose Dak for 5, maybe 6 weeks. So we are in serious poo-poo already. However, his being given benefit of a doubt card has been punched thoroughly. I'm over waiting on him to keep his shit together. And honestly, what we said off camera, I agree with what Josh said off camera. Jerry Jones has a wonderful stadium built around his team. That's about all he's fucking done in the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
So until there is a better, and again, just like we talked about with the wrestling company that also owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, everything starts at the top. When your owner comes off looking like he doesn't know what he's doing, it reflects on everybody.
That is true.
Jerry Jones has been lambasted for years now.
Yeah.
So I am not ever going to hang up my Dallas Cowboys hat or turn in my membership card in the fandom.
No.
But I'm being realistic at this point.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, I'm the same way with Minnesota Vikings, though. Good, bad, or ugly. I am there. I am a Vikings fan.
And I will continue to cheer for them as I do every week, during the 17, 18, 200 weeks, whatever we end up going to at the end of the time. But I'm not going to even remotely believe we're going to get, to February at this point.
Ooh, Jerry, dang.
Come on, Jerry.
Number 18.
Pop.
Ouchie.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
It's
Oh,
top
my
eight.
goodness.
Pop is
See-
brutal when it comes to the Cowboys.
Can't even argue with him. That's the sad part.
See,
I
here's the
know.
thing. You know it's bad when I'm being nice to Jeff over the Cowboys. You know it's bad then.
But to be fair, you were rooting for them to beat Brady this week. That's the best.
Yes, because it's Brady, and it's Brady, so I root against Brady on principle.
But like I
But-
said off camera, dude, it's even more depressing when you watch Brady and you want him to lose because it's like it'd be different if he was, Rodgers' age, which he is, and throwing like Rodgers, which he's not. He's
I
still
know,
throwing like
that's
20-year-old Tom Brady. It's like, oh, God, you're too good. I don't like it.
And this was after missing 11 days of the practice
Personal
Deal-
thing. Yeah, personal
for
stuff.
personal things, dealing with what's likely a divorce from his wife because she's pissed at him for going back.
Right?
So,
Yeah.
Is it
like
confirmed?
are all those sacks really worth the divorce, Tom?
No,
Are
it's
they?
it's not confirmed, but at the same time, you have to remember, Giselle has her life, Tom has his life, but much like any other retiree, now he's home. And it's like, part of her, I'm sure, wants her husband home and wants him, around, whatever. Part of it's like, you're here? Like,
Would you go find something to do and get out of my hair, please?
right, exactly. Every wife deals with that when their husband retires. It's like, can you go do something? You're bugging the shit out of me. I got a routine here. So,
All right,
It-
Zach.
Go ahead.
Garoppolo looks really good right now, don't he?
Yeah.
Right? No kidding. Oh,
We're looking for the
God.
game.
Trey Lance just went.
You ain't wrong
Trey
about
Lance
that,
proved
brother.
Exactly why the 49ers signed Garoppolo as their backup. Trey Lance proved exactly why they did that.
Yep.
Yep.
But
Just terrible.
I've been nice to Jeff. I haven't even said Cowboys ain't. You know the saying. I've
Well,
been
they sure
nice to
shit
Jeff.
weren't this week.
Yeah. But so I was nice to Jeff this week, so I will take that. I will take that with me this week.
I
We
appreciate
have
that,
one
considering
game
I
left.
went from not even watching the end of that game to a long day yesterday of physical tests and picking up that phone that you guys heard ring. So it's a long travel day.
Oh,
I
That's
felt
it.
bad for you, and I felt bad for Greg. with
Yeah.
Notre Dame.
Well, at least Greg and the fans of the Steelers actually got their payoff in the end. It just took them forever to friggin' get there.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't mean for Steelers. I meant Notre Dame, but
Oh, well, you know what though? Yeah, Notre Dame.
2 weeks time, Josh. 2 weeks time.
So I decided to actually check
We'll
on
deal with
look at
you.
some
We'll
of
deal with
the
you,
college
Greg.
ball stats.
Yes.
And of course, where we're at in East Tennessee, they are very much college ball, not pro ball.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
During my therapy sessions, I get to hear all kinds of comments and rants and raves about the Tennessee Volunteers, and I'm sorry I don't know mascots, but Kentucky
Oh, the Wildcats.
Wildcats, and of course the Crimson Tide. Hear all about Bama. Always hear it all about Bama. And then I think it's the Georgia Bulldogs.
How about them dogs?
My therapist, those are the 4 teams they're just talking about the most. Of course, they both went to University of Tennessee, so they're volunteer period. So, but I spent most of my life on the West Coast, and I'm a little more familiar with some of the. I don't think they're the Pac-10 anymore. They're the Pac-12 or the Big 12.
Yeah, they left the Pac-10. They were the reason the Pac-10 was formed. It was like, huh? So I mean, they're still there. I think they're going to leave either next year or the year after. But yeah, it was very, very bizarre summer. Very, very bizarre summer.
So from that side, I saw the Washington Cougars won. Yay, go Cougars! The Titans won, and I'm going to throw a little bit of college in there because I hear so much about it out here. All right. Shall we go to Monday night's game?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Monday night's game was the Denver Broncos versus the Seattle Seahawks. And I was a little surprised, to the truth. Yes. So the match breakdown was 10-1 in favor of Denver. The point spread was Denver -6. Zach and I both picked Denver, and we both picked incorrectly. The final, I'll go to that in a moment. The score was, it's right there in front of me. Sorry, guys. Seahawks won 17-16. Isn't that disappointing?
Go Hawks.
So, and I do have to say, I was rooting, and I told Mike this last night, I was rooting for the Hawks, but I chose Denver to win.
Right.
I should have just stayed with my guts, right? Russell Wilson, 29 for 42, 340 yards, 1 touchdown with no interceptions. Geno Smith, 23 for 28, 195 yards, 2 touchdowns with no interceptions. So with Wilson, he's not a Seahawk anymore. He's a Bronco.
Yeah.
A bird on a buck.
He got booed out the building.
Yeah, he did.
They
were on his ass.
Oh, my God.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Who makes a decision of trying to go for a 64-yard field goal at the end of the game?
Right.
Oh.
Especially
you have one of he's up there, one of the greatest quarterbacks in this era, Russell Wilson.
Yep.
And you don't trust him to go on it 4th and 5. You try to go,
especially with the way the kickers have had a weekend of weekends already as it was.
I was like, did the coach not watch any of the games this past weekend?
Apparently, because the setup, they pulled him. They brought out the football team. They brought the kicking team out. They were set up, and then I believe Coach Carroll called timeout to freeze the kicker, and he missed. Yeah. So the kick was no good anyway. So that should have given the Denver coach, wait a minute, if he missed this one, he ain't going to make the second one. And lo and behold, he missed. Yeah. I would have, if I was the coach, and I'm going with my quarterback, I'm going with the momentum, I'm getting the ball in the end zone.
Well, but the difference is, Mikey, when the opposition calls a timeout and they freeze the kick isn't always an accurate depiction of what's actually going to take place, because even if they're mid-stride, the entire dynamic changes. Even if you're midway to go, your thought process changes when you hear that whistle. So, because it misses, he's going to miss again.
Because once he heard that whistle, he could have possibly been pulling the kick once he heard the whistle.
Yeah. Yep. And then the Denver coach calling the last 2 timeouts with like 5 seconds to go. I was like, "What are you doing, dude? You're like, you guys already lost. Why are you calling out your 2 timeouts?"
That was embarrassing.
Yeah, it was.
Like you're paying Russell Wilson all this money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like seriously, and you do that crap. I mean, I want to feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, the AFC West is so freaking stacked. So basically, the only one who won, the ones who won that game were the entire rest of the AFC.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Definitely.
But here's the real, and I mean the real shitty part about the Monday night game. You guys ready for this?
Go ahead.
Not only was the score what it was, but breakdown by breakdown, nobody won in the first 3 quarters
Wow.
on the squares, nor the fourth quarter. So the only person that got anything was Tyler, who got a free square for next week's squares game. However, because the network takes the 20, I got to pay a ATM withdrawal fee with the $9. Woohoo!
Oh, jeez.
That is where all your money is going, folks.
Shitty Monday. Yeah, I had to pull money out to pay a bill, and because I wasn't near my ATM, I had to. Anyway, yeah.
For the record,
Good
those
segue.
jerseys are horrible.
Yes.
So
Just-
as Jeff brought up, the football squares for week 2 is now active. Pop, Peggy, and Tyler and Dori have some squares already in play. This is for the Vikings and the Eagles game. That is the 8:30 game. That will be the official for this channel and for this game. That will be the official Monday Night Football game. Even though there are 2 football games that day, this is the one we're going to play with. The pot is currently at $51. I've already done the math. If this grid sells out, the pot will well be over $100, and each payout will be about $29, I believe. It'll come up to $116.
Yes, that's what you told me anyway.
Yes. So if you guys want to buy squares, of course, again, $1 per square. I accept Zelle, PayPal, or Cash App. I'm asking everybody on the channel to, if you cannot play, share it. Let people know we are doing this. Let people know it's only $1 for one square. One square can win you $29, pending
if it sells out.
A good sellout.
Yep.
So there
So
it is.
just a quick note, since we were just talking AFC and NFC and all that good stuff. The AFC South, which for those of us who don't know, are the Texans, Colts, Titans, and Jags. They all lost. They're the only conference that had no wins in week 1. Okay.
We're not the shit show. We're not the shit show. Anyway, for now. Even though we lost, freaking the Giants lost, didn't they?
Giants.
No,
No.
Giants won. Washington definitely won. Stupid Jaguars.
Eagles won.
So,
You're the only.
okay, so the East is in the shit show. The Cowboys just are. Cool. All right, whatever.
We got through all the
The
games.
black sheep of
What
the
does this
family.
all mean? It means power rankings. Let's bring those up and let's take a look where everyone falls. Remember, it's the 2 columns. The left column is the good, strong, healthy teams, and the right column are the teams that have not done well. Kansas City did the best. They won their game. They scored 44 points. So, of course, they're going to be the number 1 team. Dallas did not win their game. They scored the least amount of points, so they're at the bottom of the right column. But things will change on a weekly basis. Of course, Indianapolis and Houston, they had the tie, so they are 16 and 17. Indianapolis's quarterback did better than Houston's quarterback. That's why they have the advantage. And always remember that these stats are done by me. It goes by record and points scored. And if 2 teams are tied in points scored, then it goes to points given up. And if I have to go even further, I break it down to the quarterbacks. So there you go with that.
We're
And
so
let's
bad,
see-
we're not even back into the left. We're back into the right. Anyway, there you go.
All right.
So what does it mean? So here's the official week 1 pick'em contest. Dori, my friend Mike at work, and Josh all tied with 9 big picks. JJ Daniel and Nathan got 8. Pop, Emmanuel, and JP did 7. Tammy got 6. Brandon got 5. And in the one-on-one matchup, your new and undisputed one-on-one champion, Dori Lou with the queen sweep. There you go. The queen is the queen clean sweep. That hashtag that. There you go. Dori is now the one-on-one champion.
I need a title belt for this.
Yes.
That boy sports bar.
Zach, thank you.
Acknowledge her.
Acknowledge Dori Lou at all times. Yes.
Oh,
She-
Well, I mean,
oh,
she's going to be a champion, so we got to make sure we give her the Roman Reigns treatment.
gentlemen, I know you need to hit there. Without man, there would not be woman. However, God had to make a test subject first.
Oh,
Damn.
he broke the mold when he made me. That's for damn sure. I'll tell you that right now. What am I thinking?
I
Having
was
a
thinking,
kid from
I was going to go
London
old school with girls rule and boys drool, but the reality is, I got lucky on some of my picks. Okay.
All right, so we're about to wrap up. Do we want to do week 2 picks live, or do we want to do that, Jeff?
I haven't even looked at my week 2 picks, so I think we need to send those in. Everybody just
All
needs
right.
to send them
Week
in as a
2 picks.
private message to Statboy here.
All right, week 2 picks will come out in about half an hour or so. So let's go into plugs, I believe.
Oh, real quick. We've got one thing we got to cover. Mr. Yuck, just for shits and giggles, his quote.
Oh, yes.
Who are the top 2 picks for the Super Bowl after week 1? Let's start up in the corner. This corner. Pick one.
Me?
Yeah, let's start with
me.
Zach. Let's start with Zach.
Okay, yeah, Zach.
Oh. Bill Saints.
Okay,
Bills
like I
and
said,
Cindy?
just for shits and giggles, week 1, who do we think is going to go so far at the moment?
Chargers and Rams.
Oh,
Shits and giggles. That's what I'm doing right now. I don't give a shit.
Okay. Josh.
give me my Bills Mafia. And let's see. I'll do the Saints.
There you go.
I'll go last.
Jarvis Landry's doing good for you guys.
I'll go Bills and Buccaneers.
oh.
There we go.
Yuck.
Mikey?
Okay, Mike.
I'm gonna go with the stats, and I'm gonna say the Chiefs and the Eagles.
This
Ooh.
chicken.
If we're going for shits and giggles, then the Lions and the Jaguars.
There you go.
Oh, I love it.
That happens, there will be a major cleaning of bedpans across the board here. Like, what? Jesus, that's tremendous.
So let's see. I think I'm going to go Buffalo. And because I can, the Vikings.
There you go. Why not?
All right. So
Thank
that's
you,
what
Miss
we
Yuck.
think after week 1. Those are our opinions.
That's
Those
right.
are going to change next week.
Yes.
All right.
Definitely.
Go ahead, and I think we've got some plugs for you.
Okay. Cool. This was coming up on Renegades Reviews and the City Studios channel all this week. We started yesterday with a episode of Dad's Always on Wrestling, as we just did the top 10 movies set in school. That was JJ and I's show yesterday. He also reviewed Clueless yesterday on Renegades Reviews prior to our Dad's episode. Tomorrow, JJ is back with continuing his week of leading ladies in the school setting as Lindsay Lohan and Tina Fey star in Mean Girls. Thursday, again, the ladies are in charge. She-Hulk on Disney Plus, which we'll get to Disney Plus momentarily. Every Thursday through October 20th, talking at 3 p.m. Pacific Disneyland time, giving the latest review of She-Hulk episode. Friday, he is back, Renegades Reviews with Heathers, of course, starring everybody from the 80s. Christian Slater, Winona Ryder, and Shannon Doherty in the role that got her 90210. Let's not even kid ourselves. Me Time coming up on Saturday. It's a Netflix original movie starring Kevin Hart, and I believe Mark Wahlberg is the other person.
Yes, correct.
So that's JJ's new release Saturday. Sunday, of course, the weekly education report, The War Zone, and we've rounded off this coming Monday. Dad's is back in the studio with our top 10 TNA/Impact X Division champions. That is all coming up right here on the Custody Studios the rest of this week and into Monday. Tomorrow, of course, the Greg Cherry Show. Very likely will be Big G in the co-host seat because good old JM is out and about again tomorrow, but 7 p.m. is still possibly doable depending on how long my errand goes. So we will see if I am there as well. And, of course, coming up tonight right here after us, not after us, but after NXT, back in its time slot of 10:05 Eastern, 7:05 Pacific, is Talk Wrestling across the Meacham Multiverse of Media, which is, I love that name y'all gave me, so thank you for that. Let me just make sure I've got everything that I wanted to throw out there. Oh, yeah. Got to do the corporate show real quick here. D23 unloaded a whole bunch of shit this weekend, so
Yes,
all this stuff coming up on Disney Plus here very, very soon. Hocus Pocus, of course, in just a couple of weeks, actually, on Disney Plus. The Santa Clauses, the mini-series featuring Tim Allen back in the role of Scott Calvin as Santa Claus, will be coming up on November 16th with a 2-episode premiere. Disenchanted, of course, is at the end of November, the sequel to the much-beloved, except for everybody except Dylan's mom, sequel to Enchanted. And, of course, the one I've been looking forward to for well over a year, Mickey, the Story of a Mouse, streaming what other day could it be but November 18th, exclusively on Disney+. There's the corporate shill. Yeah, boss, I got it. Jeez, leave me alone. Okay, anyway.
Tales of the Jedi, Mandalorian,
Very good.
and Bad Batch. That's coming up. See,
Yeah,
those trailers
like
is amazing.
every brand across our library, which we own everything now, had a major thing at E23. I was so bummed I couldn't be there. It's part of why I'm going where I'm going tomorrow, because Ashley Eckstein's going to be making an appearance at a local store in Burbank here, and it's on good authority that where Ashley goes, so does a certain falsetto voice, because they're best friends. So I'm going to try to get in and see everybody, because I'm going down to Forest Lawn tomorrow also to see Walt, Jimmy, and Wayne. So,
Well, just tell your boss, but he's not allowed to buy the big dub. He's not allowed to sell to jolly old Saint Nick, as MJF calls him.
That's right. Hey, you know what? As long as it's not Peyton Manning or Tom Brady doing the Santa gig like we saw in the trailer, I'm okay with it.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Hey, at least Santa Claus can admit that Brady's a better singer than Peyton Manning, because that is, Lord knows that's true. Anyway, so that is it for the Casa. That's it for good old JM. That's it for the boss, because I got to make sure I show the boss. Of course, you can catch us right back here each and every Tuesday night on the Casa Studios, as well as my own Twitter. We'll try to get everybody else's Twitter linked here eventually at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific, with Statboy Sports Bar featuring Miss Dori Lou. You can follow our barkeeps on social media on the Twitter over at Hathaway Lou and LB Stat Kid 1977. Translation: Mikey's older than shit, because that's what the year he was born. Anyway, I think that's it.
Dang, he is old.
Anybody else that wants to throw in their plugs, their stuff? Zach, again, I know they're going to be in New Orleans for NWA Hot Time, so we'll have to make sure we get you on during that feed. If I'm able to be producing that show, we will definitely get you on for that, since they're going to be right around the corner from you, brother. I love it. Big G, we'll probably see you tomorrow on the Greg Sherry Show. Yeah. Josh, anything you want to throw out there?
A toast to hopefully what is the beginning of the end of Bill Belichick's coaching career.
Yes, I will co-sign on that. If I had a drink nearby, I would do that.
I'll co-sign on that.
Cheers. Bill Belichick.
Dori, anything you want to throw out there before Mikey takes us home?
Thanks, guys. I enjoyed the pick'ems. Thank you, Zach. That was fun. I look forward to more. Don't forget to tip your bartenders. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
We did have a Stat Boy shout out. A shout out to Dakota Reynolds. Congratulations. You're going to make Terry and Dustin grandparents. Way to go. If you all know, Terry and I share a birthday, October 5th. So she put it on her Twitter. She's going to put it on her live feed, I think, tonight. Here's a picture of her and her boyfriend with flower hands on her tummy, and a picture of the ultrasound. So big up to that. Next week,
little she grandma. Anyway,
exactly. Next week will be the official announcement. I've been teasing this for weeks. I've been working on this. Next week, it'll be the official for fantasy hockey. I've been working on this. I've crossed everything all up together. And next week, we'll show you how it works. The quick version is you draft a team. They score points based off of their performances. You play the whole season. One person wins at the end of the playoffs. But all that will be handled next week. The
Go
draft,
Wild.
exactly, go wild. The season starts in 3 weeks. We will draft the teams hopefully in 2 on the week 7 episode, September 27th on Tuesday at 7 o'clock. We'll get through all the football stuff. And then if you're interested, message me on Facebook and on Twitter. Hey, what's up with this fantasy hockey stuff? I will send you all the details. Well, thank you, everybody, for coming into the sports bar. We had a great fun time. I got slapped in the head. What else is new? I loved it. I take my bumps proudly. I love you all. See you next week for week 2. Stat Boy out.